government's demand in 1969, when our beloved leader Dr. Kalaignar Karunanidhi was Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu, again the attention was drawn by the central government on the basis of the recommendation made by the state government. The Lokur committee was constituted and it was referred to the joint parliamentary committee whether these two communities can be included in the tribal list. So JPC gave the recommendation, Lokur commission gave the recommendation, Director of Tribal Affairs gave the recommendation, yet National Commission for Tribals gave the recommendations. What else you need? National Commission, state government, your director, your ministry, your cabinet, all recommended. The Narikaravas community in Tamil Nadu, Kurumbas community in Ooty, Nilgiris, in my constituency, they have to be included. In spite of that, no fruitful result. Of course, in 2016, the credit may go to this government. In 2016, bill was brought to this house to include these communities on the recommendation of the DMK government. But for the reasons best known to you, the bill was lapsed. My only submission is, knowing fully well that two communities from Tamil Nadu, Narikuravas and Kurumbas, were included through a bill, and a draft bill was submitted before this house. Pending the bill was permitted to lapse, allowed to lapse. But you are bringing another bill. What does it mean? Where is the what is the parity? You must be fair to everybody. That is why I am telling. I do not say that it should be withdrawn. You must give the Honorable Minister, and having high regards for you and the government, but at least on the floor of the House, you must give the assurance that the Narikaravas community of Tamil Nadu and the Kurumbas and Kurumbans in Nilgiris must be listed in the tribal list, since the already recommendation came to you. Yet another demand is, in my own constituency, Baduga community is demanding the same status. I am representing those people. They are having unique and separate cultural values, customary laws. They are also associated with the forest lands. They are having their own customary laws, which cannot be equated even with Hindu laws. Some unique features are in the society. They demanded for the ST status. Similarly, fishermen in Tamil Nadu, some part, they demanded for ST. They are also very poor. They are also social status very in the low position. So, what I am submitting before the House is, your intention is okay, good, but when having such an intention, it must be holistic throughout the country. You are having your own system in the name of the Commission for SC and ST, even separate ST Commission you are having. So your commission, National Commission, is having a constitutional status. It is having its own mechanism. Please get the details throughout the country. Not for Tripura, not for Tamil Nadu, not for Andhra, not for Gujarat. Have a holistic study. After the study, you list out what all the communities can be included in the tribes, what all the communities can be included in the scheduled caste. That is why accusation came from the Pradyut, Honorable my friend Pradyut from the Congress, that you are politically motivated for this exercise. You may be genuine, but unnecessarily you are getting the political color on your part because it is a piecemeal. So don't have piecemeal exercise. Be fair to every part or section of this country. And as such, I am welcome this bill. Please take my demand into consideration and give some assurance. Thank you.
Srimati G. Madhvi Ji.
Thank you very much, Madam. Thank you for the opportunity to speak on such an important bill. Scheduled tribes have been one of the most deprived and neglected sections of India for thousands of years. After the country got independence, our constitution makers provided constitutional protection to the deprived classes to get rid of the discrimination. Constitutional provisions under the Article 15, 16, 46, 330, 332, 335, 342 were made to give reservation to the marginalized classes in education and jobs. But despite many social security schemes by the government, scheduled tribes are living in a desperation and poverty. Now that our country is preparing to celebrate the 75th anniversary of its independence, there is an urgent need to take to concrete a meaningful steps to bring the above mentioned section into a mainstream of the country's development. Madam, it is a progressive bill as it ensures that tribal Dorlang community recognition under Article 342 of the Constitution. It will attract several benefits, including reservation in jobs and education, scholarships after passing class 10th, national overseas scholarships for the studies, national fellowships, soft loans, and free residential and food facilities in the student hostels for the communities. There is no denying that societies must not only feel a collective responsibility for injustice done to the communities, but also attempt to atone for it in concrete ways. The bill is significant steps in the direction to establish the tribal rights. Madam, tribal youth in India are facing inequality in terms of educational and attainment, employment opportunities, healthcare infrastructure and facilities, stigmatization, lack of proper awareness, and ecological constraints. Both the tribal men and women suffered from vulnerability during the pandemic. While the men are suffering from the loss of jobs and economic sustenance, the women are suffering from the burden from the family's economic conditions, nutrition, hunger problems, and domestic violence. Unlike initiatives taken by the other countries like Australia, Costa Rica, New Zealand, the initiatives taken by the India government are very few. Without the help of the SGHs and cooperative efforts at all the villages level, it is very difficult to conceive that the tribal could not handle the precociousness during the pandemic. Tribals are the most vulnerable to food insecurity, malnutrition, and illness. In 2019, India ranked 1 or 2 out of 117 countries in the Global Hunger Index and fall under the serious hunger category. COVID-19 and subsequent lockdown have threatened the livelihood of the tribals. Tribals are having inherent diseases, and these researchers need to study deeply for the permanent eradication. Imparting employability, training skills to the tribal migrants will improve their skills and empower them to look for other income generation opportunities. The skill mapping approach will help the assessment of jobs as per their unique skill set. Employment creation via startups and small-medium entrepreneurships should be encouraged by the engaging tribals to make local products. The promotion of the tribal products in collaboration with public figures will quickly push sales. Eklavya model residential schools have been started with the support of Government of India. The objective of the Eklavya model residential schools to provide the quality middle and high level education to the scheduled tribes students in the remote areas, not only to enable them to avail to reservation in higher and professional education courses and as jobs in the government and public and private sector, but also have access to them best opportunities in education at par with the non-ST population. The ministry has sanctioned 28 Eklavya model residential schools for the state of Andhra Pradesh out of